signature pick is the Marco Polo. So teams know how to draft against that and how to counter that strategy as well.
Yeah, and we've seen them like kind of like go the distance in getting the Mangya with them. So we've seen Fearless Esports gave a lot of power picks throughout their stages in day number 1. As I repeated, it's most likely like they're more prepared to answer the common and the meta right now that has been really prioritized by teams. But looking at this draft, Boom Esports gets the upper hand by being a first pick. They ban out the Dune, the Musashi. On Fearless side, we have the Ming and the Mind Shunnery as well. Now limiting out the Lady Sun, but Boom Esports, similar with the 2 representatives from the Philippines, they really want to play with the Yuan as first pick.
Yep, I like it, right? Because at the end of the day, it allows you safe initiation into the team fights with your Monfu Tempo. That's one, you can check the brushes without too much danger, but at the same time, you also have the Unending Sorrow or the Melody of Peace to kind of heal your teammates up as well.
Ooh, with the exchange, with the trade, I believe Boom Esports is more prepared to handle this, I guess, because they traded off with an Arlie and a Dolia. So if in the hands of Fearless Esports, we've seen them perform with this, they're really good. They are the amazing performances from the meta pick alone. Really need to have a great crowd control, one of which is the Zhangfei. Still not an option here as of this moment, it's too early for that. But the priority of the Mayin, I know you love Mayin so much in the game, and how about the Lady Shun? How about that?
I like the CC, right? There's a lot of good combinations here. If they get the Monfu Tempo, they can kind of set up the fight for the Lady Chun as well. And, you know, Miggy on this Mayin, he'll definitely be looking for an entry point from the backlines or from the sidelines as well to see who else he can catch. But Fearless, they come with the Elaine. They're going to pose similar problems for the farm lane on the side of Boom as well.
Girl, you just said entry point, and they literally took it away. Fearless Esports knew what are the strengths of Boom Esports heading to this matchup. They ban out the Gun and Mo. Oh, sad. It's now we're like seeing it's an open space for the Zhangfei to appear in this series, because as they ban out the Lung and the Lady Sun, they're still triggering out and channeling the ban-outs onto Azar. So Marco Polo, they're letting it open. As you mentioned, I think they're more capable of handling this, and as well as the last man of Boom Esports, the Angela. Probably since they still have no frontline yet, they might go tanky for this one.
Yep. Actually, you know, at this point, I think there's a option they can choose, right? Right now, do they want to go hyper-aggressive, where they go for an aggressive tank, aggressive roam, like the Liu Bang? Yeah. Or could they maybe have a little bit more defenses? And okay, so looks like Fearless Esports, they give away the signature. So Marco Polo back in the hands of Azar, right? We haven't seen much of it, but I can think that it is a pretty strong pick for the side of Boom. Plus, it's a comfort pick.
Yeah, and the Diadea with the last pick as well. So there's frontline team buff that you're seeing here. More on EXP stepping up the tempo on how Diadea is completely utilized in the game. Early game-wise, that is the main window for this hero to shine. Getting the signature pick, I believe Fearless Esports knew that this was already coming in the first game. So with the Princess Frost present here, this is one thing that one thing that's still missing here is tank for Fearless Esports just yet. But I think Dolly would be the one, not unless he would go for the Hanshin. I was about to say that. The Hanshin, how about that? So I believe Blam has been using Hanshin previously in our games.
Let's not bring up today's performance on the Hanshin, right? Okay.
It's okay.
Let's reminisce on my yesterday's performance that was better.
Yes, that day.
Okay, we'll leave it there. We'll leave it there. But yeah, it was either the Hanshin, right, or the Kaiser. I was expecting either one of those in that draft.
No. That is like a very good pick from Fearless Esports, and we've seen that game when we saw like a close fight from Impunity, where they were dictating how they want to control and close the map. It was all macro play with this Hanshin, and we're seeing it again against Boom Esports. It's game number 1. Let's see who will have the chance for an early momentum in taking this series to distance.
Yeah, all's not lost if you lose this series. You will drop down to the lower bracket. But nonetheless, I think the draft on the side of Fearless Esports definitely does put them in a much easier place, because as Azar, now you have to deal with so many people who are able to maneuver around the spaces so easily. So how do you get those shots in, especially when they're in one straight line?
Yeah, speaking of maneuvers though, like the half HP peel the Dragon has been receiving here, that's why we're seeing Impressive here not letting go of the mid lane just yet. As a Diadea, this is like one of the things that I like about this hero is the maneuverability, as you've mentioned. It's like the swing displacement, such as that.
They continue with the pressure that is coming on from Fable, and even Doudou comes in with the Hanshin, looking for that first blood onto the side of Fearless Esports.
Yep, that's a big start, and Dao just repeating his performances from day number 1 of the group stages as we head down into the second day of the knockout. There's no change in Fearless so far.
Yeah, they want to stay consistent on how they perform. That if you want to perform really good, the Yuan Stellar Songstress is almost there in your hands. It's available with a price discount. You have your way in flexing it. Especially Molando, still a beautiful skin too. So a lot of things happening here in the championship in HOK. So for those of you who are still watching us, enjoy in game, just be prepared for the surprise coming in your way. Now, going back to the farm lane, we have 2 on this one. We have the kites, the kiting method that we're seeing from the farm lanes as well between Boom and Fearless Esports. So Fran Arlie and the Marco Polo both had signature picks and a power pick, yes, but they're more prepared to handle this kind of situation. So impressive. Just not letting go of the farm lane just yet, mainly of the threat of how Fable is rotating quicker as this moment.
Yeah, at the same time, KK, he does have the level advantage, right? And as of now, it looks like Fearless Esports want to go aggressive.
I don't think anything's going to come out of this, right? I mean, we've already seen the 2 ults been exhausted here, but Mayin does try and go in a little bit further with the help of the Jizzix. The stun does come through onto Dao, but there is no further means of getting into that T1 fight and coming out alive.
Yeah, not committing as well. I think this is like the main word here for Boom Esports, just respecting the power spike that FE is just trying to build. That's the lane. You know you can even punish it as early as possible, even having the AoE early game by Boom Esports. It's just that like there's like an ABC kind of thing here that needs to flow against Fearless Esports, because that will really work. But looking at this situation, eyes on the farm lane, guys. It's always like this focal point by Fearless Esports because they know they're starting to see a crack here.
Oh yes, I mean the pressure is coming on. The winter has been laid down into the T1. We've seen this many times from Fearless Esports to kind of just keep them out of the range of the minions. Dao over the wall with the Hanshin. We see the Immobilize come from impressive as well, just to keep himself alive very impressively.
Look at how managed they wanted to hold too, right? That Dao knew that someone's going to go inside of that wall, and they wanted to separate Azar from being protected by the Dia. Checking out the goal difference, how are they going?
I think so far Dao is in full control of the game, right? 2,600, 500 gold ahead of his counterpart with a G6. At the same time, this draft is really working out in their favor, because if you take a look at the lineup from the side of Boom, it's very difficult for them to get the perfect initiation. Everything has to be at a specific distance, everything has to be at a specific angle.
Yep.
And that is the strength of Fearless Esports, where they can change their trajectories, change their angles of entry really quickly. And it's going to be really hard for Boom to react, even when they have the best and fastest reaction.
So with that being said, Impressive needs to land his displacements properly as the Dia, because timing and angles, especially trajectory, Fearless Esports know how to calibrate this kind of strength. Now opening up the first objective, Tyrant, taken away by Fearless Esports.
Yep, and it's going to be an easy one, right? Fearless Esports, this is what we expect. Based on what's happening now, they already have the lead. It's just about 1,000, which is not that big, but slowly, as we enter that mid-game stage, I'm pretty sure Fearless Esports will start to put the pedal on the gas.
Yeah, the pedal is just mainly how Impressive and Nazar is going to respond. Another pressure point here, guys. Farm lane, we're looking at the Marco Polo combo for you guys who's using this here in your games. Go ahead, check this out. But the contention and the pressure continues to show here in the farm lane by Fearless Esports. They know who to target here, and slowly, Boom Esports needs to react on this.
Yeah, and this is what's so scary, right? Boom doesn't seem to be able to find any other angle. They have to deal with this situation on bot lane. They're trying their best to set up a situation on the top, but I don't think Xingling is going to die here.
Yeah, they're finding an angle, trying to compute something out of here, because Xingling is really not in the... Well, he's in the right position to bait, but not even to be killed. But for that kind of a weighty situation, Boom is trying to handle against those Esports. They take the first T1 down bottom and down.
Okay, the Death Sunset is coming through. The Undying Sorrow as well. Oh, okay, so it is going to be a Jizzix that goes down. Crucial crowd control from the Hanshin.
Wow, that's ×3, man. We've completely forced Boom Esports to fall back.
Yep, nothing else they can do, and all that pressure, look at what's happening for the side of Fearless Esports once again. They get the T1 on the bot, and they have full reign, and even the Primal Bond has been done with the cooldown, so now, once again, Dao, free reign into the jungle, gets the Overlord attempt as well.
Ooh, speaking of attempt, right, they're really maintaining this pressure down bottom. Even the Overlord has been taken by Fearless Esports. They're really pushing Boom Esports to go out of protection. moments from that we're about to see in this game, because 2-0 still stands with Fearless Esports, and we're looking at 3-man hold rotation down bottom. Just check out the items. Look at the same build by Venomous Staff pick up as well by Princess Frost.
Yeah, this is going to hurt them quite a bit. The heals will be much lesser, but more importantly, Blood Rage already out.
Okay, may get baited there. I mean, Fable was trying to get Diadea into a wider spot so that Fearless Esports is going to try to collapse there. We see Jinling has already made a vacation trip down from the Clash lane to help that T2 fall in the farm lane, which is a good point by Fearless Esports. Going into almost the 7-minute mark, right? And they're already knocking down T2s.
Yeah, that vacation, that Shingling, this transfer down bottom was clearly a great way of diverting the attention to Boom Esports right now. Like, they have been maintaining this position. They have been invading some camps. You're taking out a resource out of Boom Esports, and this is making them literally uncomfortable on how to address this. There's no front line just yet. Not unless, again, we're going back to the first point here. How will be trajectory countered? But this is a fight.
Yep, speaking of trajectory, we do start with the death on Sunset. A double one coming through to just give some more impression into the backline, the squishier parts of Boom Esports. No blood is spilt yet in this fight.
That's really a bad thing to see, guys. Like, Dao and KK got the red buffs out of Boom Esports from one of their camp, one of theirs, and it is just becoming a problem for AG6 to farm on these objectives early on, not getting any resources as early as possible.
Yeah, and one of the main things you'll see is that Boom Esports, they're struggling to keep up, not because they can't farm, but because they have to consistently defend, because there's a threat of an incoming team fight at any point, simply because they're so mobile. They're always everywhere around the map. And Fearless Esports, I think they have successfully created so much space that now Dao at level 13, he is 2 levels ahead of Agisics. They're starting the final farm into KK, and he's going to be able to get his full 6-slot item really quickly.
Yeah, I think that's the one thing that I want to keep observing here by Boom Esports and Fearless Esports, right? It's about the mobility of the lineup of Fearless right now that's making Boom Esports not really crossing the line here. There's no damage yet that has been taken by the towers of Fearless Esports. Even the objectives, they have been really dominating this kind of protection all across the map, and no one even come close in this river that Woodman has been protected.
Yeah, Agisics, if you take a look at the Mournful Temple there, and Tragic Beauty, it didn't really hurt Woodwind that much. And when you're unable to deal damage to a roam support, it's going to be a bit difficult here.
Yeah, another camp too.
Okay, Dao does get caught there as well, and then Jinling is going straight in onto a Jizzix, looks pretty low. The unending Zoro is coming through as well. Is Dao getting an impressive takedown onto the side of Boom Esports. They are done just for yet, but are they going to reform and take that T1 into the mid lane?
Wow, and that kind of initiation that Fearless Esports did, maintaining that pressure right onto their camp where that golem sits, it's making Boom Esports react in the most worst possible way. It's impressive being taken down. There's no front line here to be at protection of Boom Esports in those certain lineups.
Yep, I think, you know, the mindset behind Boom was that, hey, we will let Agisics make the initiation for us, get the Mournful Temple. Once we have the stun, maybe we can make a combination drop off of that. But as it stands now, Fearless Esports, they understand their gameplay, and they don't allow them to do it at all. They're just outclassed, outraged.
Yeah, man. Speaking of their range, again, I'm going to repeat this. There's no turret taken, but what happened?
Dao straight onto Dragon. I mean, that is going to be no target. Will come through the Lady Gem, but it is going to be taken down. So only delaying the inevitable right now is Dragon, as he's on the death timer, as well as impressive, being picked up once more in the team fight. Niji right now is trying to keep them away from those bases, from those higher ground turrets.
I think that's the main point of this game, right? Fearless Esports is literally pushing everybody away to be in their base. As they take T3 here up top, now this also gets another objective by Fearless Esports, which is the Tyrant. Combining the damage and the items that they have right now, it's completely dominating.
Yeah, so we're looking at the cornerstone on the side of Boom being crumbled at this point. And when a cornerstone falls, you can expect the rest of the structure to fall as well. So Fearless Esports doing very well to control the pace, control the amount of gold that Boom is able to recover and accumulate. At the same time, Miggy, nice catch.
Oh yes, I mean, nice catch, but is it going to be enough? The Destiny counter is being countered by the Death on Sunset, right? We saw it come through. He was hoping for a little bit more coming from the destined counter, but unfortunately for the side of Boom, it's not destined to take anything from Fearless yet.
I think that's the thing they want to do, right? Take something out of from Fearless Esports lineup, and we've seen Miggy try and attempt to maybe invade the back line. You can really tumble your way through that situation, but can you still sustain that damage that Fearless Esports has? Looking at the lead slowly at 8K. Now at 11 minutes, we are seeing like 3 turrets remaining for Boom Esports to defend, and Woodwind and Shinglin right now really has great control on the front line of Boom Esports that they can really push to the limit.
Yeah, this really could be the start of the end at this point. One more item for the Daybreaker, and here we go. They are looking for an opening.
Opening has been committed. T2 has been taken by Fearless Esports. Now they're at the mercy of their 2 towers. Meanwhile,
up into the clash lane, now they're able to lock onto Dao. He's able to escape there thanks to the Blood Rage item. And there we go, the Death on Sunset coming through just on time like a rhyme. And there it is, the Celestial Melody coming through, giving over a second Death on Sunset, gives them pressure, but also gives over the first kill to Boom Esports. But right now, it looks like Fearless Esports are just going to go back and just think about what they're going to do to get into that base.
my goodness, that kind of dive that Shinglin did, it was kind of like overcommitment, but so far it gave another time for the Waves to push in and not even putting Boom Esports to take that red buff away from their side. So with that kind of like pushback that they have been doing against Boom Esports, it's just so hard, man. Who do you catch here? Not everybody here is just too mobile to reach even Dao or even Woodwind, not even KK. Again, it's 5-1 in a dominating start. We're just seeing this as Fearless Esports slowly taking the map by objectives, by overlords, and they want to continue doing this. They want to keep Boom Esports busy on seeing nothing in their own camps.
Yeah, Boom Esports at this point definitely have been outdrafted, right? Because Fearless Esports, the only person that they can probably try and catch is actually Faber, but here we go again.
Yeah, speaking of catch, there is something coming through here. Obviously, the Destiny counter is coming through just to clean up Fearless Esports, keep him away from that Jizzix, who's already taken a bit of a beating in that little bit of a fight, right? But right now, KK gets the last hit onto the higher ground turret, so they have no monopoly in this match right now. Death on Sunset just trying to push them back into the base as we see the minion waves from the mid, from the farm lane crashing in this game 2. Potential conclusion for Fearless Esports.
Game number 1, precise, dominating, clean. Fearless Esports has been getting this kind of plays from their opponents, and up against Boom Esports, they really struggled to even catch one.
Yeah, Fearless Esports unfazed at this point. Looks like the markers in terms of results are going according to plan for this Fearless Esports, but do not make the mistake of counting out Boom Esports just yet.
Yeah, it's not yet done. It's a best of 5. They need some sort of adjustment here, because one of the things that I was seeing is becoming a problem is how to counter that trajectory. The idea, not much of the utilization because of how Han Shin and Dao, specifically like Dao and Shinlin has been rotating around quicker. It was too hard for the idea to give gold and movement for everybody. So it was like a caged chicken. Well, and it's so hard to move around, and if you want to